Hey, it's Dorleen. Welcome to my channel and welcome to my creative life. I'm working on a layout with the Iron Crafter Challenge. All the information will be in the information box. This is hosted by Tara the Paper Snob. It's a Facebook group, and believe me, you want to join this, especially if you're stuck and just want to do things outside of your box. So this month's challenge is to use your oldest paper. I don't know if this paper is my oldest paper, but it's definitely one of the older papers. This is a set by Basic Gray. I've had it forever, but it's just so pretty. I just never want to get rid of it. Every time I go through my papers and kind of weed out some things and gift out stuff, I always keep this pack. So I decided to use it. Now, these pictures are from when my daughter and I went to Memphis, and this was one of our trips or one of our adventures out to, oh my gosh, I already forgot what it was called, Coopertown, or Cooper Young, sorry. And there specifically we went to the barbershop, which is now a restaurant, but used to be a barbershop back in the day, or a beauty shop, sorry, that Priscilla Presley used to get her hair done. So my daughter had, Googled all these things we were supposed to do while we're in Memphis, and that was one that she really wanted to do. So we went. Unfortunately, when we got there, it was packed, and apparently it's something you have to have reservations for, which we did not. The waitress or the hostess was super nice because I said, listen, we came all the way from California. I don't know if we're ever going to come back. Can we just come in and take a peek? She's like, absolutely. So she let us go in. We took pictures. It was great. So that was nice. But anyhow, if you notice a lot of the other pictures that I took, so these are all kind of black and white, mostly because my daughter's wearing black and white, but nothing really color coordinated or like specific. So that's why I thought this paper would work, because if you look at those 3 photos in that bottom right corner, those were other things around the town that we saw, like that rainbow paint job was on the road. There's a paper chain that was from one of the store windows. And then the other one was the outside sign for the place where we ended up having lunch. I want to say it was called the Avenue. So anyhow, that's why I thought, look at it, all works. It's pink. It works out perfect. So originally I had one piece of paper on the bottom. You saw me switch it over to this script one. I thought it just had a better, oh gosh, what's the word I'm thinking of? Like a clash. You can see it a lot better with that plain kind of vintage distressed look of that top paper. Contrast, thank you. I hate that when a word's right on the tip of your tongue and you just can't figure it out. So I had these little punch out tags that came with the kit as well. Now look I'm just kind of thinking outside the box. I'm thinking, you know what, there's not a whole lot going on here. And I really don't have embellishments specifically for like a beauty shop or just like this random town that we're visiting. So I thought, well, let me just kind of make these little clusters using those tags. I'm definitely going to use them as journaling spots, but then I do end up just kind of thinking outside the box on decorating. But the thing that really guided me were these 3 pictures that I'm working on right now. One thing, because I'm talking a lot and a lot's going on, that one photo of the painted road, that I made it look almost like a Polaroid. So it was a great idea because it allowed me to add those smaller photos, kind of attached it to it, and it gave me like a base to use it on. Now, I thought I was just going to eyeball this picture, this piece of paper, which I normally do, but I decided, it was crooked and it was making me crazy. So I used my T-square ruler. Now look at folks, even when I use my T-square ruler, I feel like things are crooked. So, but it is nice to think that I have things straight. So I don't know if they're really straight or not. Now, obviously you can tell I did tilt, those 3, photos on the bottom right, because I wanted that to be tilted. The photo of my daughter in front of one of those art stores is tilted, so it's not just me with a really bad eye on keeping a photo straight, but believe me, it wouldn't surprise me. So what I'm doing right now is I started using scissors, and then I thought, I can just use sandpaper. But when you punch out those pieces, those tags or anything, like cardstock type punch outs, they always have like little knobs, not knobs, like little nibs on them. So I just, first I was going to just cut them off like I mentioned, but I ended up using the sandpaper because it was there on my desk. I don't even know why. I really don't remember using sandpaper, but that is a sandpaper that's a very light grit so that it's really made for paper. But I bought that years ago from close to my heart. Yeah, a long time ago. But again, I just took some of these tags, and I thought, I'm just going to layer them. And for whatever reason, I decided to connect the holes. So that's why they're kind of odd shaped, but it kind of, in my mind, helped guide me on where I was going to put these things. Now, I didn't think how I'm going to cover those holes. And part of me was like, I don't even care that they're covered. It wasn't like that big of a deal to me. So, but you'll see at the end, I do end up covering them. And I was like, whoa, I didn't even think of that. But again, I'm just kind of layering and trying to looking at the different size and also like the different, I'll use the word texture, but I guess pattern paper. So it gave like a little bit of a texture on these tags. I really am trying to think, when you make clusters, you really should have like a big one, maybe a medium size, and then a small. Definitely the Goldilocks effect. I don't even know if that's what you call, if that's really officially what it's called, but that's what I'm calling it. So this one that I'm working on now, the one in the middle, I'm in my mind thinking that is definitely the larger cluster. The one over there in that top right is the medium size one, even though there's 3 and 3, but you see how the pieces on this one that I'm working on right now just seem a little bit larger. And then the one over on that left-hand side, which I pulled off, but I'm going to put back on, that one I'm only using 2 within that, so that's obviously the small. But I wasn't too worried about covering the picture of the beauty shop sign because the people that are having lunch are not people we know. So really the only important part of that photo is the sign. I was going to zoom in and just do the sign, but I kind of like the look of it. Now it's a restaurant versus, it's just the sign that I'm showing. So again, kind of added to the story. So I just use a pen and I draw some lines. I do this a lot. I don't care that they're not perfectly straight. I could use a ruler if I did, and I just write my journaling. I had an idea of what I was writing, but, I was just kind of like going with the flow, kind of remembering the trip. This was in August 2022, so it's been a while, but it was a really fun trip, a good mother-daughter trip that I truly enjoy. But I had mentioned earlier that this paper, the only embellishments it's had are these tags, which are basically the exact same paper, the same paper as, the main paper. So that's why I was kind of like, I got to really think outside the box. So I did grab some enamel dots that I thought would work. Luckily, I had that colorful photos over there in that bottom right. And then this is the travel pack that I've been using a lot with most of my travel photos because I bought, a set and those enamel dots actually go with it. But, most of that is travel. Well, this layout really, even though we traveled there, it wasn't really about like the actual travel part. So I just grabbed some words here that I thought kind of fit and, just kind of like, we're wandering and all's well, basically. And I'm just keep looking back at it. Now, I love the colors on here because, again, because of that street and that rainbow in the street, I really can use any color at this point. And so when I saw the the flower stickers that were on there, I knew I wanted to use those. Again, it's just adding more colors. So I really wanted to put that in that main cluster on that bottom, but it didn't work. And so I put it up there on that right. Again, put some words. I move the other words. I'm just kind of moving things around because I'm sure you're just like me, folks. I mean, I'm sure you have an idea of what you want to do, and then it usually ends up going a completely different way. Or other times, probably like me, you don't even know what you're doing. All you know is you're using your oldest paper, right? And then whatever happens, happens. I knew if I had to, I could probably go to my Cricut and look for stuff. But, I love using my Cricut. Don't get me wrong. Matter of fact, if you follow me or if you subscribe to my channel or look at my Instagram photos, definitely more than half of my layouts involve the Cricut in some way. But sometimes it's nice to just kind of use other things and just kind of keep it simple. So I was really happy with this layout because I really kind of thought outside the box on those color additions, on the enamel dots. And like I had mentioned before, I wasn't too worried about covering the little holes. Well, guess what, folks? It didn't even dawn on me. But then I thought, oh my gosh, those larger enamel dots were perfect for covering the holes. So you'll see me do that in a little bit. But I do hope you like this video. Make sure you look at the information box because there is a hop and there's some great scrapbookers. And I know that you'll enjoy their layouts and see how everybody or what the papers look like. It'll be interesting to see if you go, oh yeah, I remember I had that or this and that. So I am looking forward to following the hop as well. If you're not already, please subscribe to my channel. I do post at least 2 videos a week. One is always scrapbooking. The other is whatever it is I'm doing in my creative life. And that is what I enjoy. I make cards, I paint, I'm sure you're just like me. It's like you start one hobby and it warps into another, and then it warps into another, and then it warps into another. And at some point you say, okay, I'm not going to get another hobby. Like I refuse to learn how to crochet because I do not need to collect yarn. But anyhow, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hop along, and thank you again. Bye.